In Louisville, hundreds of people protested for a third straight night demanding justice for Breonna Taylor. One of the officers involved in the botched raid was charged in the shooting, but the charge is not directly tied to killing Taylor. Police fired flashbangs to break up crowds on Friday evening. Several people were arrested for being out past the city's 9 p.m. curfew. Other protests took part in cities across the country. And as Adriana Diaz reports, protesters, young and old, say they will remain on the streets until someone is held accountable for Breonna Taylor's death.
Late Friday, Mary Williams, who's in her 70s, marched with a walker.
But you're still making such an effort to be here.
Yeah, I've been doing this all my life. And this is for our children.
Earlier, crowds demanded this.
Release the transcript. Release the transcript.
Family attorney Ben Crump accused Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron of swaying the grand jury. He demands that Cameron, who was tasked with impartially presenting evidence to the grand jury, make that evidence public.
Release the transcript so we can have transparency.
The Attorney General's office told CBS News everyone's entitled to their opinion, but prosecutors and grand jury members are bound by the facts and by the law. The grand jury concluded that the only criminal acts that night were for the shots that hit a neighbor's apartment, and that police acted in legal self-defense because Taylor's boyfriend, fearing a home invasion, fired first, injuring an officer. Taylor's boyfriend fired once. Police returned more than 30 rounds. Tamika Mallory, who leads the activist group Until Freedom and works closely with Taylor's mother, said this about the Attorney General.
They didn't even mention her daughter's name in the damn indictment process in this grand jury hearing. How dare you?
Karis Jefferson, who didn't know Taylor, took her children to see the speeches.
It's a little heavy for children, but I think that they need to see it. They need to know what's going on so they can be the best that they can be, so they can be a part of the change for the future.
How do you feel?
I'm hurt. I'm really hurt.
Thank you.
Protesters also registered voters Friday.
You're calling for people to go to the polls so that policies can be changed. What is the #1 policy that you think can change things?
George Floyd Justice and Police and Accountability Act. It speaks to the systematic reform that we need in policing all across America to prevent future Breonna Taylors, to prevent future George Floyds, to prevent future Jacob Blake Jr.'s, to prevent future Pamela Turners.
The police reform bill named for George Floyd would ban no-knock warrants, which was used here in the case of Breonna Taylor. It would also raise the standard for what justifies use of force. That bill is currently held up in Congress. As for whether the state attorney general, Daniel Cameron, will release the evidence presented to the grand jury, he said previously that he would revisit that matter after the FBI concludes its investigation. Jeff?
Okay, Adriana, thank you.